Tommy and Amelia had been dating for a few months now, and honestly, I had never seen a happier couple. They were perfect for each other, so perfect, in fact, that Tommy decided he was going to propose, thought he would need help, and the first person he decided to get help from was me.
Hey, look, I need your help with something, if you have the time.
Tommy said. Of course I do. What's going on, Iced?
You see, Amelia and I have been dating for a while, and we're very much in love, like really in love, so much so that I think now's a good time for me to pop the question. Do you know any jewelry stores around here that sell engagement rings?
You just asked the right person. I happen to know a jeweler that's located a few blocks down on Main Street. They have quality rings for a good price. I'll take you there myself if you want.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Don't mention it. We both waited until the end of the day to take a stroll down Main Street. Our destination was the small but well-maintained jewelry store. I was familiar with the owner, a middle-aged man by the name of Lloyd. He had been running the store for about 2 decades now and had established a good reputation for providing good service and selling high-quality merchandise. The moment Tommy and I walked in, we were greeted by Lloyd himself.
Oh, if it isn't my boy Luke, what brings you here?
Lloyd asked. My friend here wants to propose to his girlfriend today, and he's looking for an engagement ring.
Oh, so it's an engagement ring you be needing. Well, you've come to the right place, my good man.
He then showed us a nice row of rings.
Here are the ones that I think will suit your lovely lady the best.
Tommy was having a hard time choosing. You think this silver one will do?
I don't know. I think Amelia would prefer a ring that had a bit more meaning to it.
Maybe this copper one would be better.
No, I don't think so. That wouldn't be very romantic.
Maybe this gold one.
Well, yes, I think that's the one. Just look at how beautiful the designs are on it. You know what? I'll buy this one.
I believe you made a good choice, sir. That'll be $69.
Oh, only $69. That's a pretty good deal.
At 69, nice, I laughed. Lloyd understood my joke, but Tommy didn't. I'm pretty sure he had plenty of innocence left in him at this point in his life.
The ring is yours, my friend. I wish you the best of luck in proposing to this beautiful young lady of yours. I'm sure she'll say yes.
Thanks a lot, sir.
No problem, my good man.
Lloyd said, then turned to me.
Luke, my boy, your friend here already has you beat. When are you ever going to find a lady to marry?
I will find one once the opportunity arises.
And when it eventually comes, you take it. Don't let it slip through your fingers, my boy.
I won't.
All right, you two have a good day.
We both left the store, and we began discussing where Tommy should propose.
Where should I take Amelia?
How about the park?
But where exactly?
I don't know, the lake perhaps.
Okay, that'll work. I'll take her there at 7, and when the sun starts going down, I'll propose.
And you want me to photograph the moment?
Yes, please.
All right, I'll get into position at 7.
Thanks, Luke. Without you, this wouldn't be possible.
You're welcome. Later that night, Tommy brought Amelia to the park. They spent the next couple of minutes enjoying the fresh air and each other's company. I was hiding behind a tree with my camera at the ready. The sun was close to setting, and Tommy was ready to propose. He took her to the pier, and they sat down.
Isn't this a beautiful sight?
Yes, it is.
But nothing is more beautiful than you, Amelia. You are beautiful on the inside as well as the outside.
Thank you, Tommy.
Oh, Amelia, could you do me a favor?
Yes.
Could you, take a closer look at the sun and imagine what our lives would be like in a few years?
Amelia did as she was asked. She had a thoughtful expression on her face. Tommy had to know what she was thinking.
What do you see?
I see 2 of us married living in a nice mansion in Mexico with 2 kids.
Do you really see that?
Yes, I always see that.
And would you want that?
Yes.
So then, let's make a start towards that life, right now.
Tommy kneeled down.
Will you marry me, Amelia?
Amelia turned towards him and saw him with the ring in his hand.
Yes.
The two embraced and kissed. I photographed them from afar as they looked so happy. I couldn't help but smile. The photos turned out pretty good too, in my opinion. I then approached them as they continued to embrace. You two, it seems like you've had a good time.
We're engaged.
Congratulations, I hope you both have a wonderful life together.
Thanks, we will.
I then showed them the photos I had taken.
Wow, these look great. We can hang them up in a room and remember this moment every single day.
The plan worked perfectly, and their wedding would be in November. However, they wouldn't be the only ones getting married that day. Annie and Victoria had been together for 2 years, and they had been planning to get married for the past year. Andy decided that this day would be the day he proposed. But first, they had a long day of work ahead of them. This Sunday was rather slow, which was common for a Sunday in October. The day started off with an administration-owned 1957 Chevy coming to the workshop for some maintenance.
Where do we begin?
Andy asked.
With the engine, of course.
Jackson replied. This was standard procedure for all cars that came to the shop, as the engine was the core component that required the most maintenance, and he was clearly in a hurry to get all the work done.
Why the rush?
Yeah, honey, we have plenty of time.
Fred said.
Could you guys keep a secret?
Of course.
I'm planning on proposing to Victoria tonight.
Oh,
Took you long enough to have the courage to do so, Andy.
Yeah, I guess so, but where should I take her?
How about the carnival? There will be a concert there too.
Bill suggested.
Oh, really? That's perfect. Please don't tell her. I want this to be a surprise.
You can't count on us, buddy.
They continued to work on the car, and the time seemed to go by rather quickly. The moment they sent it off, there was suddenly another or two that needed attention, and he meanwhile could not wait to propose to Victoria. He had that smile on his face for the rest of the day. Not that it was a bad thing. It's just that the more they saw that smile, the more creepier it got. No proper explanation for this exists. They just felt it.
Andy, no offense, but you're a kind of creeping us out.
yeah, we can barely focus on our work. We keep seeing your creepy smile from the corner of our eyes.
Oh, sorry. I'm just really excited for tonight.
We know you are. We can see that. But please stop scaring us. Okay?
Sure thing.
And he clearly didn't listen to them, as they still had to see that grin on his face for the rest of the day. At that point, though, they got used to it, and it wasn't as scary anymore that night. And he took Victoria to the carnival. We would go there later, once the Bee Gees came to perform. Those two arrived 2 hours prior to the concert. Of course, Victoria had no idea the Bee Gees were even performing that night, and he first took her to the first wheel.
Oh, look, I can see the whole city from up here.
Victoria exclaimed.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And he continued to take her around the carnival as he took her through all of the rides. He did a good job keeping her entertained and waited for the right moment to pop the question. The Bee Gees would be arriving in a few minutes, as were we and the fans. It was nearly 8. Victoria was expecting Andy to take her home, but then he stopped.
Victoria, look over there.
What is it?
Can't you see? The Bee Gees tour bus is over there in the distance.
Really? Wait, are they performing here?
Yep, and I happen to have 2 tickets for us.
You're kidding.
Nope, also, I have one more surprise for you.
What is it?
Andy kneeled down and revealed a beautiful, sparkling emerald ring.
Victoria, will you marry me?
Victoria was overwhelmed with joy.
Yes, of course I will.
And he got up and hugged her.
I love you.
I love you too, Andy.
We arrived just in time to witness their beautiful moment.
Congratulations, buddy.
We wish you both the best.
Thanks, guys.
Come on, let's go to the concert. None of you forgot your tickets, did you?
Nope.
We soon entered the concert grounds and headed for the closest seats. The music was amazing, and we had a great view of the stage. We stayed for the whole concert, and it was even longer than we expected. None of us were happier than Andy and Victoria. They were truly happy. We were all just happy that Andy finally found the courage to propose, and we certainly couldn't wait for the special day next month. The day had finally come. Andy and Victoria were getting married, as were Tommy and Amelia. Yes, there would be a double wedding at the local church. I was Tommy's best man, and I was so honored to be chosen for such an important role. We had plenty of time before the ceremony, so we spent most of our time getting Tommy ready.
My hair has to look perfect. This would never do.
Relax, Tommy. We'll make sure everything is perfect.
John said. He was the one who would cut Tommy's hair.
How does this look?
John asked after finishing the top of Tommy's hair.
No, this ain't it. Maybe try combing it through.
Maybe you're right. It's still a bit bushy.
Apparently doing that pleased Tommy.
How much better? Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
All right, the limo will arrive in an hour. What should we do until then?
Bert asked.
Poker.
No, every time we play poker, I never win.
Don't worry, we won't rig the game this time.
All right, I guess.
For once we didn't sabotage Tommy like we always did. He finally won a game of poker. He was so happy that he threw his cards in the air and danced around. By the time we were done with our game of poker, our limo had arrived. Amelia and her bridesmaids were waiting for us.
Hey, Tommy, you look great.
Thanks, so do you.
Thanks anyway. Are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
We were soon on our way to the church. The other limo, Carrie and Indy Victoria, and their respective groomsmen and bridesmaids, was behind us. We actually had a little street race to see who would get to the church first, though both limos were driving safely and within the speed limit. Ours made it first by a mere 3 seconds. Simultaneously, we all stepped out of our vehicles. Both grooms and brides exited their vehicles first. Then we escorted them to the church before taking our seats.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Don't worry, everything will be fine.
Tommy and Amelia walked down the aisle of the church. Andy and Victoria soon followed. The moment they reached the front, the pastor said,
Greetings, everyone. We are here to witness a historic moment, a double wedding. 2 couples will be getting married today, and they have asked me to officiate. This is a first at this church. I'm sure you all understand. We will start with Mr. Pemberton and Miss Curtis, then we will move on to Mr. Crawford and Miss Livingston.
He then turned to Tommy.
Mr. Pemberton, do you take Miss Curtis to be your lawfully wedded wife? You have him to hold for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do you part?
I do.
And Miss Curtis, do you take Mr. Pemberton to be your lawfully wedded husband? He'll have him to hold for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do you part.
I do.
You have both agreed to this marriage and have given your consent. Please repeat the vows that you have just heard. This will make it official.
They did as they were told.
You have both chosen well. May the Lord bless you both.
It was then Andy and Victoria's turn. They repeated their vows, and the pastor said,
By the power invested in me by the state of New Mexico, I now pronounce Mr. Pemberton and Miss Curtis husband and wife, Mr. Crawford and Miss Livingston. I also pronounce you husband and wife from this day forward. Now may both kiss your brides.
We all clapped as Andy and Victoria embraced, followed by Tommy and Emilio. This was a very special moment for them, and I was glad I got to witness it. The party after the wedding was a blast. We all danced and drank until the early hours of the morning. Also, we got to watch a football game. Fun fact, this was the first time I ever watched an NFL game, and it was an experience of a lifetime. The Eagles would face off against the Saints, an expansion team at the time, making this a very exciting matchup. The Saints were awful in the first 7 weeks of the season, but against all odds, they won their first ever game, defeating the Eagles 31-24. It was quite the upset by the time that was done. Then came the end of what I would later refer to as the most beautiful day of my life. And that is it. These stories are what I call, for the most part, happy times. I don't think anything can top them, especially the past 5 years.
What really happened during the past 5 years?
I really don't like to talk about it. I don't even want to be reminded of it. It was a long, dark period in my life, as well as for most of you who know exactly what I'm talking about. If I ever build up the courage to tell you what happened, I'll let you know. For now, it's best not to bring up such horrible memories. Like, come on, it's our company's first anniversary. Let's just enjoy ourselves.
You're right. We have an entire amusement park built specifically for this monumental event.
Speaking of which, let's actually get off our asses and go ride some rides before the party's over.
Yeah, let's go.
Just look at all this land we've inherited from our father.
And also the gravel that's most likely hidden underneath it all. Probably worth millions.
We might actually dominate the entire market and overthrow every other business in the country.
Well, I'm not singing the line with you. It's all mine.
Oh, so you are immediately trying to jump on the selfish bandwagon, are you, typical Plutarch?
My company deserves 100% of the shares. Why? Because my company is better than yours.
Say so. Your company's record is terrible compared to mine. If either one of us were to own all the land, then I say it should be me.
How shall we settle this?
I say we declare war.
Well, the last time we tried that, it went nowhere. But we can always try it again. I won't in on this.
Here's how this will play out. Our mercs will fight to the death for control of the land. Whoever takes control of the most land will be declared the winner. The loser will have to shut down the company.
Oh, I like that idea. Maybe we can watch all the battles as if we're the sportsmen. Drink some beer, eat some good meat, and laugh at the comical deaths of our employees.
Just like old times.
Oh, yeah.
Let's shake on it.
I'll call the administrator. She'll approve this one.
I know she will.